You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okello. I am excited to be here with you for another amazing episode of the African Father in America podcast. I am sweating. I just came from a run. I'm just enjoying myself. I just came from a long, not long, but about almost 3 miles, a little less than 3 miles of a run. But I'm here for the African Father in America podcast. For those who are joining us for the first time, thank you so much. I would love for you to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not yet done that. Today we are here to discuss an amazing African proverb from Zimbabwe. Every day during the African Father in America podcast, we talk about African proverbs and we aim at getting a little bit of wisdom from each of these proverbs. But also, our goal is to, uplift our culture, African culture, At the same time, I love talking about the Madaraka Festival because I am the founder and producer of the Madaraka Festival that has been going on for 9 years. This year was the 9th year, and it was also the biggest edition of the Madaraka Festival, where we toured over 6 cities together with Sauti Sol, Sauti Sol is really the biggest boy band in Africa. So we toured New York, Atlanta, Dallas, and Seattle here where I live, Washington, D.C. So I interview a lot of guests that are related to the Madaraka Festival, sometimes the artists, sometimes some of the people in the production team. But a lot of the time, I'm just here by myself, sharing with you different proverbs and engaging with you around these proverbs with the hopes that, the way that these proverbs help me is to regulate my own mental health situation. So I hope that it does the same for you. So our proverb is really amazing. It's from Zimbabwe. And I am going to share with you the proverb on the screen in just a second so that you actually visually take a look at it. What does this proverb say? If your mouth were a knife, it would cut off your lips. If your mouth were a knife, it would cut off your lips. What does this proverb mean to you? Share with me in the comments down below. This proverb is from Zimbabwe, and it's a really amazing one. I want you to tell me what it brings to your mind. At the same time, I want to share with you 3 nuggets of wisdom that this proverb brings to my mind. So I'll share that in a moment. For now, I want you to just let me know. I see quite a few of you have joined me on YouTube, so I want to know where in the world you are joining me from. Just type the city or the country in the comments so that I know exactly where in the world you're joining me from. I am still sweating a little bit. I just came from a morning run here and it feels really good. But I need like a 30-minute break between finishing exercising and, doing this show. But it feels really good. I've at the beginning of this show, a little over 3 years ago, I used to do my morning exercise or meditation and then come here and do the show, and it felt good. And I want to bring it back to that, where I don't just wake up and come and do the show, or I wake up, get some work done and then do the show. I just want to come here fresh and inspiring. There's something with your voice when you've exercised and your heart rate is at a certain level, your voice is also very clear, and whatever you're doing, this is why artists always do some stretches or meditation or some form of exercise just before they hit the stage. So this is like my daily stage. So what does today's proverb from Zimbabwe mean? The proverb from Zimbabwe says that if your mouth were a knife, it would cut off your lips. This is a really amazing Zimbabwean proverb that is really reminding us about the power of our words. Our words are so powerful, but many times we forget that our words are extremely powerful. You know, as many of you who watch this show are aware, I am a father of 3 beautiful girls. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that sometimes children do things just to irritate you, to get under your skin, you know. And so the way that you answer them when they try to irritate you, or the way that you respond to life when life tries to challenge you, you know, when things are hard, is very important. And the words that you use, not just for somebody else who is becoming an irritant, but the words you use for yourself, what you tell yourself, is equally important, you know. I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of the time we think that it's only the things that we tell other people that is important and that we should be mindful about what we tell other people. But actually, the things that we tell ourselves is very, very important. Very, very important. So let's go to the first nugget of wisdom here. And this nugget of wisdom is related to today's proverb. If you're just joining the show, the proverb is from Zimbabwe, and it says that if your mouth were a knife, it would cut off your lips. The first nugget of wisdom here says that words have power and consequences. Words have power and consequences, you know. So whatever you say, it's going to create a certain response, you know. So before you say something, be aware that it's going to create something else, you know. It's going to create a positive reaction, or it's going to create a negative reaction. It's going to make somebody smile, or it's going to make somebody sad, you know. So it's important that you are totally aware that anything that you say is going to have consequences. And then number 2, we should be mindful of what we say and how it may affect others. You know, earlier on I was giving you guys an example that I am a father of 3 girls. Sometimes my children torment each other. You know how children play. The older one wants to be the leader, and the little one just wants to be tough-headed, and the one in the middle does not want to be with the little one. She just wants to be with the older one, and she sides with the older one. So sometimes the older one ends up saying things that she didn't, the little one ends up saying things that she didn't intend. And then she realizes that, wow, I just broke my oldest sister's heart. She's crying now, you know. Or she throws something at the older one, and then the older one cries hysterically. But the entire time I was observing, or I was listening to their exchange, and I didn't do anything because I want them to actually learn how to engage with each other. So what this proverb is teaching us is really, you know, to be mindful about the impact of what we say. This is also a good example when we look at the situation, even when we look at the situation in Kenya right now. Just earlier, the IG, the Inspector General for Police, was saying things that are very, you know, that are very, that have serious impacts, you know, in relation to the recent police brutality that happened, where there were so many deaths that were reported in the Nyanza region of Kenya, in Kisumu, in Migori. There were so many deaths that were reported, but the IG, the Inspector General of Police in Kenya, was saying that, you know, those deaths were just the deaths. Those people that died during the entire period of protests were just hired bodies, you know. Meanwhile, their parents who are complaining about, you know, not complaining, but that are burying their loved ones, you know. So as leaders, as parents, as colleagues, as community members, we just need to be mindful of what we say, because anything that you say is really going to impact somebody in a way that you probably did not even imagine it. So that's our second nugget of wisdom. And then the final nugget of wisdom here says that our words are a reflection of our character. Our words are a reflection of our character, and we should strive to use them for good, So if your words reflect who you are, how are you going to use your words, Of course, if you're a terrible person, you should use your words for doing terrible things, But if you know the power of your words, you should be able to, direct the energy that comes from your words so that it's constructive, it's transformative in a good way for the people around you and the environment around you and for the world in general. So those are some thoughts that I wanted to share with you as part of our conversation today, as part of our episode of the African Father in America podcast. I love doing this every Monday to Friday. A lot of the time you'll be seeing me here by myself. I love being consistent. One of the things that I am now known for is consistency, because every Monday to Friday for over 3 years I have been producing this podcast. I took a break this year because I really needed a break. I took a break from May to August 1st, mid-May to August 1st, because I didn't take a break to rest, but I had a big festival, a national festival here in the US known as Madaraka Festival that attracted over 25,000 people across the US and over 30 million people digitally. And so now we are in the process of looking for sponsorship for the Madaraka Festival 2024. So if you are working for corporations here in America, if you are working for a travel company, airline, hotel, you should reach out to me so that I can tell you more about how Amazon has sponsored Madaraka Festival, how Alaska Airlines, Microsoft have all sponsored Madaraka Festival in the past, and what we are planning for this coming year, So let me know you can hit me up through my Instagram DM, and I'll let you know more about how you and the company you work for, or the business that you're running, can also benefit from the growth of the Madaraka Festival. Outside of that, on September 30th, I am helping with marketing the Africa Day Business Forum. Africa Day Business Forum. This is the 23rd edition of the Africa Day Business Forum, and it has been going on for the longest. This is one of the biggest business forums organized by one of the most astute businessmen in the African community. His name is Peter Gishuru. He's the founder of the African Chamber of Commerce of the Pacific Northwest. He lives here in Seattle, Washington, where I also live. And for the last 23 years, he has been producing this business forum that brings African leaders, African businesses, along with American leaders and businesses that are interested in working together, especially doing business in Africa. Through this forum, the city of Lagos has acquired fire trucks. Through this forum, Entebbe has electric ferries, and the company that built the electric ferries in Entebbe connected with the Ugandan community here in Seattle through this business forum that is happening on September 30th at Motif in Seattle. So if you want to learn more, you should also connect with me. You can comment down below, or you can just send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll be able to share with you more information. But if you want to get your tickets immediately, you can go to Eventbrite and look up 23rd Africa Day Business Forum in Seattle. I see that some of you have already joined me here. As we close the show, I want you to just share with me where in the world you're joining us from. Myself, I'm in Seattle, Washington, and today we had an amazing African proverb. Our proverb today was from Zimbabwe, and it says that if your mouth were a knife, it would cut off your lips. If your mouth were a knife, it would cut off your lips. Share with me what this means to you in the comments down below. And I also shared 3 nuggets of wisdom. You will have to watch this video from the beginning so that you can catch the 3 nuggets of wisdom from today's proverb. I want to thank my team again, Stella, Martin, Steve, Frank, for all the work that you do to make this show possible. I know it's not easy, and I want you to know that I deeply, deeply appreciate it. And also to, our community, especially our YouTube community. When we started this show, we didn't even have any subscribers, but now we are almost at 10,000 subscribers. So I want you to help me spread the word. Let your friends, let your community know that we live stream Monday to Friday here on the African Father in America podcast at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we want them to subscribe to the channel. We want to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of August, So let's work together and see if we can celebrate this milestone. By the end of August, we get to 10,000 subscribers. Right now, we are a little over 7,000 subscribers. With that, I want to thank you again, and I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for another edition of the African Father in America podcast. I am grateful. Take care of yourself. Peace.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello.